Hello, my name is Mark Long, and today I would like to show you how to design pipes using Carlson Hydrology 2017 on IntelliCAD. Let's get started. So, I would like for you to see that I have created networks here, and if we zoom in here a little bit, you can see that I have the red storm, okay, and I also have green sanitary sewer. What we're going to do is we are going to design our sanitary sewer based on the design of the storm drainage systems. So what I'd like to show you is a series of new commands that we have introduced in Carlson software that starts under the network drop down and edit sewer structures. We have the traditional where you can edit structures via the dialog. We have where you can move structures in the plan view and the profile view. These will be the commands I'm going to talk to you about today. So let's get started by going ahead and let's draw some sewer network profiles. Okay, we'll go to Profile here. We will go and pick our downstream structure, which is here. We'll go and pick our upstream structure, which is here. And basically, I'm going to let the program I'm going to just draw these profiles out straight. So basically stretching the pipes out straight in one profile. I'm going to draw my pipe crossings and lateral connections. I'm also going to draw the existing and the design surface in this case because we're going to be using those to help us kind of design our pipes. So I want to click OK. And it asks me for my existing surface and it asks me for my proposed surface. We give those two. It wants to write a PRO file for us, which is fine. We'll write this PRO. I'm going to replace it. And then I have some settings here that I can assign to this. I do want to draw my grid, and I'm going to show you folks how my settings are kind of set up here. Okay, 50, let's draw 1 foot vertical grids. I think that's what I'd rather have. We'll have some adders on the top, to the left and to the right, things like that. We're going to say okay. If I go over to my sewer pipe profile labels, you can see here how my pipes are going to be labeled and how they're going to look for my sanitary storm system. And I'll flip through these settings so you can see I like to do my manholes separate from pipe polys. Uh, and then here's how we'll label. You can see those. And just our connections with sizes and things like that. The other important part of this designing process is going to be on your pipe crossing labels, because what I want to do and what I do for this in my design portion is to draw my crossing pipes on the fly. Okay, if I hit the setup button, I'm checking all the sewer files associated with my current drawing. It's placing it on the crossings on this layer. I'm happy with that. But I also want to draw parallel pipes within a swath width. In this case, I'm going to set my layer and set any pipe within 25 feet horizontally of my sanitary sewer will be drawn in the profile. And this is what I want with all the pipes. So I'm going to click OK. I like to show my pipe thicknesses because we're dealing with outside diameter and cover. So let's go ahead and draw this. Let you guys see this. I'm going to click OK. And this is our select the associated files with the current drawing. Just going to hit continue. And basically what I've got here is just a profile. I'll just go here and space somewhere and pick a point. And so now you can see that I just drew the profile. The red pipes here are the parallel pipes within swath width. This is storm drainage, the red. The green is sanitary. So let's go ahead and do the rest of our little profiles here real quick to design this whole sanitary sewer system. We'll kind of go back and redo some of these commands. Profile, let's go for manhole 1. Let's go up to this manhole this time. You don't even have to zoom in. We're going to keep the same settings, so everything's good. And open the name of our profile file. We're going to replace it. That's fine. And then I'm just going to hit OK here because we went through our settings and continue. And we'll get to pick a location for this profile. So let's just come up here. We'll put him beside this guy. So there we go. See, there's our profiles, existing and proposed. Woo, look at that. Um, let's get back. We got one more run to do. So let's go ahead and do from 1 up to here. Even though a lot of it's duplicated, I still like to do those. So let's go network, draw sewer network, profile. Again, our downstream is 1. I'm going to pick my upstream this time as this guy, the most upstream ends. Say OK, open, open, and save. That's fine. Yes, we'll overwrite it. This was OK. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat process here of getting your profiles on the screen, but it's kind of important, when we're designing these to kind of look at everything as if we're used to seeing them, profiles. Okay, now we're ready to start modifying. Okay, let's start looking at designing pipes. Well, I can see I've got a 15-inch crossing pipe right here, and I'm going to have a cover problem. So I know that's one place that I've got an issue right off the bat. I don't particularly care for the way this pipe run and this manhole. I think I could slide this manhole down. Okay, so let's look at doing that first. So in the plan view, if I was to come here, I'm looking at this pipe run, and this is the manhole I was thinking about sliding it down. Okay, well, what if we just slide it down and we modify it and put it at station, let's just say 1100. It's right there. We got a little tick mark we can snap to. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go network into our new list of commands and plan view. We pick our manhole and pick our new position. Let's pick the endpoint of that line. And let's go ahead and hit enter to end. Okay. And basically my profile is being updated right now. And I'm going to say yes to all. I'm going to let it update these profiles. And we'll zoom back out here, come back up here, and now you can see that manhole has been moved to station, should be right at around 1100. Well, it is based on the center line of the road. My bad. But you see what happened, and everything gets updated and everything is modified. Now, well, looks like we got a little bit of a problem right here, because now we need to come underneath the storm drainage here with this pipe. So what would I do? In a case like this, the reason I like to draw the outside diameter, and I'm going to get rid of some of this text so you guys can just see what I'm doing. Get rid of some of this text. I just erased, oops, undo. We'll just leave it. And what I'm going to do here is that if you look at this, and I'm just going to erase just this little piece of text, is I've got my ellipse here. Okay, what I really want to do in this case is probably just draw a polyline. Okay, and let's draw a polyline and snap to the quadrant of the ellipse. Okay, now I don't have to have snaps on or anything, but I am going to kind of snap perpendicular, but in the profile we got to think vertically exaggerated. I want 2 feet of cover between this crossing and my sanitary, so let's just go 20. Okay, so what I get is a polyline that's now 2 feet of separation. Here is where now we can start looking at doing things a little bit different. We could come in here now and go to our network and come down here and go to network, and let's edit the profile view this time. If we pick the upstream end, we are allowed to move this pipe up and down. It's upstream slope. We can change it. We could almost eyeball it and get this thing about in the ballpark of where we need it. Boom. The program automatically updates the profile, and it automatically relabels everything. You can see now that I have 2 feet of vertical separation, and now I've got some, now here's my pipe is starting to look a little bit more normal. Okay, well, this is kind of deep, and I don't think I need it that deep. But in North Carolina, where I'm at, I'm allowed 4 feet of free fall inside of my manhole. So what if I did a step up here? ST for step up, okay? And I said, what is the enter the pipe step up? What if I said 2.4 feet? Boom, the program automatically puts in the 2.4 foot of free drop in my manhole. I could come up here on this end and say, well, man, that's still kind of deep for that manhole. What if I take this and I change this to a slope? Well, maximum slope, 10%. So what if I said SL for slope, okay? And I want to enter in the pipe slope of minus 10. Well, let's don't do exactly 10. Let's go minus 9.75%. Bada bing, everything gets changed. Everything's starting to look a little bit better. Our cover, crossing pipes, things like that. If you look at this, my pipe slope is 9.75%, and I'm also being told my invert, I've got two here, but that's okay. And in a nutshell, what would I do? I would basically probably come right here at this point in time and say this invert out is really 2620, period. So 2620. Boom, the program changes it. My slope gets revised. And now I can come down here and look at this one. I've got an invert in of 96.89. Let's make this let's make life easy on folks. Let's go ahead and just say pick this end, come down here, and we'll type in 2596.9. Okay, we'll do that. And we need to adjust our invert out. So we'll pick this pipe here, and we will adjust this invert out to be 2594.50. 2594.5. Bada bing. There we go. And so now you can, oops, I think I kept a 2.4 foot drop, so I probably need to adjust this guy again. So, because it's wanting to hold that drop. So I need to come in here and go 2596.9. There we go. And then coming in from manhole 7. So now you can see the advantages of working this way, because this is what you're used to seeing in these profiles and things that you have to deal with on a daily basis. Now, another thing, let's talk about coming down this pipe run. Okay, you can see this storm drainage here, and we're coming down. What we need to do is make sure that we can get service clearance underneath this storm drainage. We might not be able to go over the top, but you may have to come underneath. Well, typically what we'll do is we'll have 2 foot in here of vertical, just so we can get our sewer service to the lot. So, in that case, what I would do in a nutshell would be yeah, it wants to update yes to all. We'll let it update our profiles. But what I'll typically do here is come in here and kind of, we could offset this again by 20 feet, or by 2 feet for vertical separation, but vertically exaggerated, you got to think a little differently. We could come here and quite possibly leave this invert alone, but we could bring this one up, and we could probably eyeball it just to maintain 1-2 feet of separation here, so we could get our service lateral underneath it. So if I was just to come here and say, let's edit sewer structure, the profile view, pick this end of the pipe, let's just come right up to an even elevation that looks halfway decent. I mean, I could probably get away with that right there. Okay, so now we have set the invert at an even, we got a little bit too much. Oops, got to fix that pipe. Let's say step up 2.4. So there we go. Now, well, you can see now all of a sudden, because we raised this up, we've got, a 2 foot, our vertical clearance here is a little off. Really it needs to be 18 inches, so I'd probably let it slide. But these are things that you're going to have to look at and decide on every day. But now you can see I'm coming down through here. I'm maintaining about 2 feet of cover. I might could drop this one a little bit, maybe help myself out a little bit to come down here and pop it down like that. You see? And do that. That way I'm pretty sure. But I do have another pipe down here crossing that I got to deal with. All right, well, let's do it again. PL. Let's do PL from the quadrant. Bada bing. Let's come down, just kind of snapping perpendicular, type in 20. That'll give us 2 feet of vertical separation there. And then what we could do is just come down here and basically eyeball this. This makes designing pipes almost as if anybody could do this. I mean, it's not really hard. What I'm doing is not hard. I'm really eyeballing in a nutshell. You know, I could probably come and bring it down to about right there. You see? And now I've got 2 foot of separation here on this pipe. We got the exact same thing going on down here. So what I could do, instead of just drawing that polyline over and over again, and I'm just escaping and canceling, I'm not letting it redraw my profiles. What I'm doing here is I'm going to come back up here, and I could just copy this line, since they're so close, and copy from the endpoint to the quadrant snap of that guy. Bada bing. And here we go. Got to do some work. So now what can we do? We'll go back to network, go to edit sewer structure, profile view, pick the profile view. If we pick in the center of the pipe, we can drop the whole pipe and hold the slope. Oh, that's cool. So we can eyeball it. Bada bing. Now all of a sudden, here we go. We're holding our 2.4 feet of step up here, I believe. We could come back in here and change this invert to something a little bit. We could round it, make life easier. I mean, that's easy enough to do. If we need 2/10 drop in this manhole, so I'd probably come down here and pop him at this even elevation, and then come over here and do step up. We'll pick this end of the pipe, and we'll go ST, and we'll do 0.2, and we get a 2 foot 2/10 drop in our manhole. And there's our slope, there's our cover. We're doing pretty good. Here we come out the pipe. Now, we've also got crossing pipe. Here comes an incoming pipe from one of our other profiles. One of these other ones over here. Incoming pipe. So you can also modify this up and down, and it will change the other profiles. So if we were to come in here and say, edit sewer structure, profile view, okay, let's just say yes to all. We'll let it update this time. Because what it's doing here is when it updates and redraws, is that it's updating every profile, these 3, because we're modifying our pipes kind of on the fly. So now, if we were to come in here, and we could pick this guy, all right? And it says, okay, well, where do you want to move him? Well, let's just snap him down to this perpendicular to this guy. This gets modified, and when we hit enter, what's going to happen is I want to zoom out here just a little bit so you can see, and I'm going to say yes to all. Somewhere down here, this pipe run right here is going to get changed. This pipe run right here is going to change. Let's just say yes to all, and let's see what happens. The pipe runs change because I pulled this pipe down with this little ellipse, you see? And so the pipe runs changed. And so basically now it can just become almost like a rinse and repeat process to design a sanitary or storm system. So if we were to come up here and let's just say, well, we know that ain't gonna fly. So we might as well just go ahead and go network and edit sewer structure profile view, pick this dude and bring him down here at least, probably about like so. Okay, so now here we go. Uh-oh. Here's one of them little doodads. PL from you know what this may end up being is one of those places where we might want to insert a manhole. Let's do one from the quadrant snap. And you'll see why here in just a second, because this sewer line is going to become super deep. if we don't do something. We're going to have to do something because if we lower this down, this pipe run is going to become very, very steep. Um, Now, let's see what it does look like if we do it. Profile view. It's going to become really, really deep because we're just going to bring it down to about, I don't know, you can see it's coming down pretty good if we just pick there. And so just to get underneath, I mean, it may be okay, it may not. I mean, it's pretty much like I said, 18 inches is the minimum here. I usually use 2 feet just to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and kind of I'm not doing anything bad. But I don't know what is that elevation. If you look up here in the white box up in the top corner, it's 25 75 50. So I could just type that in 2575.5 and get that invert in. And there we go. Now what I do need to do is make sure I keep 2/10 drop. So I would pick this and raise it up with a step up of zero point 0.2. Okay, see that? I could do that right here. Now, I do know that this invert now is zero point 0.2 step up. So this one, I could do a zero point 0.2 step up in right here with this guy and make his elevation 2575.7 if I want to. Let's do it. Let's pick this guy and let's just type in 2575.7, enter. Boom. As soon as I exit the command, if I hit enter to exit, the program is going to go through here and it wants to redraw all the profiles. I'll say yes. And just like that, we're just kind of modifying other runs of incoming pipe, which is kind of cool too. I mean, I think it's just about as easy as you can get in designing your pipes by doing it this way. Again, PL, boom, quadrant snap. Bam. Let's go perpendicular. Type in 20. Boom. Now I've got a visual aid here to help me. So I could go network, edit sewer structure, profile view. Let's pick this invert and let's bring him down below. And we could just by eyeballing here say just let's go with 2571.25. 2571.2. Let's do 0.2. Boom. There we go. Let's put in our step up here. ST, enter, 0.2. There we go. We got our 2-foot cover. We got our 2/10 drop. Now we're designing on down the road. We're coming down the hill. Here you can see, here's my incoming pipe from the other side. Here's that pipe that we lowered by using the ellipse. I don't know if I necessarily need to do that or not. Maybe I could. Honestly and truthfully, I could probably bring this guy down to probably to about maybe here. Okay, just because I want to maintain that separation here, and probably bring this end up here to about like so. Okay, so there you can see, this may end up being an outside drop manhole for me because the drop is so high. But that's what we do. So select sewer entity to move or enter to exit. We'll just hit enter. We'll let the program redraw. Now, if we go back over to our previous profile, you see how this one modified because I changed that right there? You see, and it's almost the exact same image, except we got one different upstream manhole here. But you can see that this pipe, the circle, it moved up a little bit. Okay? So now let's go back over here. We're looking at these. Okay, let's look at this guy. Let's see here. We got, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily, maybe I ought to put a step up in this guy. We don't need to be quite so deep right here. What if, let's see here. That's that and that. I didn't have a problem with that. Let's come in here and let's do it right here. Let's do us a step up right here. So one last time, we'll come in here, edit sewer structure, profile view. I'll pick my profile. Bam. Okay, and I want to, let's do step up, ST, of 2.4 feet. So there we got our 2.4 feet, and let's just take this guy, and let's just go ahead and bring him down here. We'll put him right down here at this nice even elevation, just makes it look pretty. And that, my friends, is how you can now design these pipes in your profile view using Carlson software. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very beneficial to you. And always, please feel free to ask for Mark Long for all your hydrology needs, and I'll be more than happy to help you the best that I can. Take care. Thank you.